Here's people, I am 30 and welcome back to Return of Caesar here in Crusader Kings III. And I managed to bit my tongue while starting to speak there. I'm actually going to leave that in because that's actually kind of hilarious. So, in between episodes, I have given away some things. I created the Duchy of Palestine, which I gave to my son-in-law or something. Or my grandson-in-law. I created the Duchy of Alexandria and granted them every holding that I hold in Egypt. And I also created the Kingdom of Italy, which I gave to this guy. He's a Roman Hellenic person. So I made myself weaker, but I made the entire, empire a bit more stable. So that's basically why I wanted that to happen. Who? Who are you? Why are we fighting? What? I don't know. I have no idea why that's going on. I'm gonna take those guys here. I'm gonna then put them down. So the most things that people were discussing in the comments, I couldn't speak there for a second, like always, were about the inheritance. And yes, I know that we can designate if I want to, if I make sure to, to designate by first going for absolute crown authorities. I'm going to do that. I have no issue with doing this. I was planning to actually, but I still want to kill those people. I want to clean up the family a bit because I feel like we have a bit too many bad heirs. I want to go for my second born son because my third born son, Caesar V, this other guy, he's not that good. Especially his education is not that good. He's worse than his brother, this guy. Except in stewardship, though. He is better in stewardship. And martial diplomacy is not that important, to be fair. So, actually, I think what we could do, I think we actually might go for my third born. Yeah, this guy, because he has that extra stewardship, which I really do like. He doesn't have as good of education, which is bad when it comes to lifestyle, but having intrigue is actually not bad. It's actually really good, and they're about equal in everything else, except martial and diplomacy. I'm going to designate this guy. It's going to cost me a lot of prestige. Pardon. So I'm going to play as my third born. I need to make sure that he makes a new son. A good one, seeing as I killed this only one. Or I killed. He's not too bad, guys. The fourth, he has the wrong numbering of his name. But he already has two sons and they're not particularly good, any of them. So that's something that I might want to solve, but that's something for my next character rather than this one. I think. That might just be enough to kill those people. Especially with the best commander that I have available. And also, I wanna, since I didn't reply to any comments on the video itself, I didn't have the time to. So I'm sorry about that, guys. The one about the carpenter god, that's actually hilarious. I find it completely hilarious, actually, the fact that they call him the carpenter god. It's like the perfect insult, like the absolute perfect insult you can go for. Such a good one. Whatever. Carpenter god as well as crucifying the Pope himself. I think those are such good touches by Paradox. They have such a good big meaning, like crucifying the Pope, like how Jesus himself was crucified, as well as the first Pope, or he's seen as the first Pope, Saint Paul. He was also crucified in Rome, although he was crucified upside down. And he's actually buried now in Rome. If you've ever been to St. Peter's Church, which you might have not been. I had never been there myself, but I have seen some tours online. You can actually go to the tomb of St. Peter. I'm not going to say if he's actually there or not, but that's at least what they say. So what we want to do, I want to go for reforming the empire. And if I want to do that, I need Tunis. That's not a lot. We only need one single duchy. And as we can see, we can go for it right now. And I see no reason not to. I have done a lot of things with this guy. And I want to do this last final thing as well. I feel like that's a big thing. I want to do that with this character. This reincarnation of Caesar himself. That's what I want it to be about. So hopefully we will be able to. This guy has a really big uprising though. We might helping out with the uprising as long as he gives me Tunis, which is the only thing that I want myself. There we go. That's my man-at-arms. Thank you. Why did you become Greek, Rex? Because everything is Greek in my empire. That's like the thing. No one is Roman. Everyone is Hellenic, almost. But no one is actually Roman. So seeing as the county itself is Greek, people are gonna actually adopt the local culture, which is not particularly good. We're trying to change that, but it's taking a long time because my steward is not particularly good, so I'm gonna replace him with this guy who's much better. I'm gonna look at this. I also need to increase my control, by the way. In Tivoli, preferably. I still wanna take those things. And I haven't done so until now. I will do it in the future, whenever I find the time for it. When we have done this, we will be able to reform the empire, and that's going to be glorious. Restoring the empire of old. To be fair, this is still the empire itself, but seeing as we want to restore the ancient one, we don't want to go for the medieval Greek one. I think it's kind of important to restore the empire itself. And it's this sentimental thing to do. A very sentimental thing to do. Thank you for your nice little additions to my coffers. I do like it a lot, to be fair. Because someone might join in. I don't know. I don't think that person is too strong to be an issue to me. He's probably not an issue to me. I keep on sieging. This is easy. We have gone above the point where that's my heir, and he has a son, and this is a good one. So he's Caesar the Fifth. So we're gonna call him Gaius Caesar, which is actually the way it's pronounced, but I'm not going to pronounce it that way. Gaius Caesar. That's hilarious, man. And he's the 6th. That actually turned out very well. What I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna kill his brother. No, I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave him alive. I can just designate a new heir. It's no issue. It's easy. Okay, where did you convert fate? There's not a lot of places to still convert things, except like in my own places, like Attica. I want Athens to be the right religion, preferably. What I also want to make sure happens is, my son, is he a witch? He's not. So I'm gonna make him a witch, so we don't lose out on the grand right. We will still have the witch coven, but I want to keep the grand right thing as well, because that's kind of vital. Okay, we have 50% ward score now. If we try and catch this dude, that would be worth a lot as well. I am running low on supply though. That's not particularly good, but that is really good. So siege down this next place, please, before you start starving, which will happen very soon. Actually, oops, that's not what I wanted. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new army. I'm gonna take my siege equipment as well as some retinue, or it's not retinue, it's men-at-arms. That's the official name. And I'm gonna take those other guys, I'm gonna bring them back home so I can disband them, so they don't starve to death. I don't need them. Someone's trying to kill my kinswoman. They're entirely entitled to if they want to. I'm not going to do anything about it. I could kill someone. Okay, we only need, I think, about one more siege. Then we... Oh, wait. Who's Mustela? She's a hunchback. Oh, I can see them. Hopefully they will not go for me. I would prefer if they left me alone. They're not gonna leave me alone. So I'm gonna try and just go somewhere else to siege things down. I'm gonna lose 110 men. That's fine. So one of the tasks were completed. Ah, this one. So increase the control in Laconia then, please. I don't want them to catch me. You know? Catch me if you can. And if I take this down, it's gonna be the tick and war score gone as well. And as we can see, it's actually very quick to siege this down. And I think that's going to win us the entire thing. Hopefully. Hopefully. It did. So thank you. We're gonna enforce the mount. We're gonna gain these things. And we saw a new thing pop up there. But that's not something I'm going to bother with right now. Because first I'm gonna give those places away. To the philosopher. And I'm gonna give this away. Even though I don't have to, I'm gonna give it away to Marcian, like Forest. I'm ambitious. I don't like to give things away when I don't have to, but I still wanted to. So these two are ransomed, and as we can see, restore the Roman Empire. If Rome and other key territories of the old empire could be reclaimed, the Byzantine Empire would win recognition in the eyes of the West as the true and rightful continuation of the Roman state. The Roman Empire will be restored and acquire the de jure of all currently held empires. Hopefully they have fixed the bug. I know they have fixed the bug, but hopefully it will work out for me that they have fixed the bug, that I will not lose primogeniture when I restore the empire. Yes, we get the Roman Empire, we become Augustus. He is the current ruler of the restored Roman Empire and commands the respect an office of such magnitude is due. I am really looking forward to when they have finally made the DLC for the Byzantines themselves, like Legacy of Rome and CK2. But that's not something for today. So I will restore the empire. The dawn of a new era. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. After the miraculous recovery of territory lost centuries ago, the Roman Empire has been reborn. Europe has endured dark times since barbarians stormed the imperial frontiers, but now a bright new age has dawned for all of civilization. Where countless Greek pretenders failed, it took one Roman to succeed. Me. Restoring the failed empire of the Greeks. This is actually a new thing. This is actually different from when you restore the empire as a Greek Byzantine, as we can see with those things. The Imperium Romanum stands strong once more, restored to its ancient glory and religion under my enlightened rule. New legions will march on the remaining provinces, still denying the sovereignty of this new empire, and forge a new Pax Romana out of these dark times, for the Senate and people of Rome. SPQR. Esto Perpetua. Perpetua? I don't actually know how to pronounce that. I don't even know what that means. It's probably something very nice. Can you tell me down in the comments what that means? I could look it up, but it's more fun when you tell me what those things mean, so everyone could, just by checking the comments themselves, could see what it actually means, so they don't have to check it up themselves. So if someone could take the time to check this, what does Esto Perpetua mean? And how do you pronounce it? That would be a good thing to know as well. We are now Emperor of Rome. And I am gonna make Roma the capital rather than Constantinople. Rome is the ancestral capital of the Roman Empire, and as such she rightfully belongs to me. I already own it, but I'm gonna make it the capital. I gotta keep Constantinople because Constantinople is such a good holding. But when I did my Byzantine campaign, I was a Greek, so I wanted to have Constantinople as the capital. Because this was the new adaptation. That was the new adaptation of Rome, the Greek version, the Byzantine version. And the later empire had its base in Constantinople rather than in Roma. So it made sense to keep the capital in Constantinople. But now we're playing as a reincarnated Caesar. and we want to go for the ancient empire rather than the newer medieval one, the Greek one. So it makes more sense to put our capital in Roma. And also, one of the reasons Constantine the Great placed his capital in Constantinople was that it was actually closer to the frontier, because the main frontiers back then was actually here in the east against the Persians. I think it might have been the Sassanids back then. I think it was the Sassanid Empire. There was a lot of Persian empires, so I don't know which one it was. I think it was the Sassanids. Because Rome itself was in the middle of everything that belongs to Rome. It was not close to any frontier really, while Constantinople was actually closer. And you control the Bosporus Strait as well, which is very, very good for the empire when it comes to economy. And very easy to defend as well, as many people had to find out throughout the years. So we have reformed the empire. We're still only high priest. I would prefer to be imperator of the Roman Empire, but that's apparently not something that the game is going to allow. Although, thinking about it, it should actually be possible if we go for... It's still my primary title. That's a bit weird. They're basically telling me that the religion... This is not my primary title, but it's seen as my primary title when it comes to my name. So... That's a bit weird. I'm gonna rename this actually to the Imperial Cult. Adjective. It was a long time since I did this. Imperial Cult. Duchy of the Imperial Cult. So, of the Imperial Cult. I'm High Priest of the Imperial Cult. Sol Invictus, basically, if you know your history. It makes a bit more sense. So we have finally restored Empire. To be fair, I don't particularly like this color. I would prefer to have like a red Roman color, Imperial color instead. Although I know why purple was the Imperial color itself, because it was actually seen as the regal Imperial color when the Byzantines were around. But I feel like the Imperial red is what we are more used to when it comes to the Byzantines rather than this purple color. Or when it comes to Romans rather. With the Byzantines, people are actually kind of okay with the purple. What I want to do, we have truce, so we cannot attack you. I want to keep on attacking to restore the Imperial borders, and for that to happen I need to kill a few people. The good thing now is that we actually have the Imperial CB. As we can see, restore Imperial province, we can take duchies, but that might take a while. So going for Holy Wars for kingdoms at least once or twice would be a beneficial thing. For example, for Croatia or for Aquitaine. Or Burgundy or Bavaria. I think Bavaria would be a very good one. There's not a lot of Imperial province in this apparently, which I think is wrong. The Imperial borders actually used to go here. I don't really know. I feel like the Imperial borders that they go for is like a mixture of different eras. I don't actually know which specific time of Roman history that they're basing these borders on. But I know for a fact that the Imperial borders were a bit higher up than Crane, which is basically this place. The Imperial border was much above this. It was actually north of the Alps. Like, kind of far into Romania, to be fair. So I think it's kind of weird. That's just my opinion. So I'm not going to hold over Bavaria right now then, seeing as it's not actually belonging to the Imperial borders. The Umayyads are kind of strong. And for some reason, I cannot use the Holy Water. I think that's because we're not actually neighboring the dude. I think that's the reason. The Duchy of Provence then. That's not Provence, that's Barcelona. It says Provence, but that's Barcelona. That's a bit weird. I'm gonna go for Provence, taking Nice and those other things. Because I want to keep on expanding. These are the days when I really don't like the fact that you cannot only raise your men-at-arms, and you have to raise everyone. Yeah, someone told me in the comments that they've seen people raise their men-at-arms, and I have done so before myself. Because when you raised your troops before, your men-at-arms would get raised immediately, making it very easy for you to only raise them. But they have changed that now, so you have to basically muster your men-at-arms as well, because you had the possibility to teleport them across the entire empire. But I still would like to have a button to choose to only raise the men-at-arms, but I think they're actually implementing that in the next patch, because I think I saw a dev diary about that. But as we can see, we already have the province of Italia. For the second time since the fall of the Western Empire, Italy has been liberated and restored to proper Roman rule. Hopefully for good this time. The great city of Rome itself is now under my control, and even hardened soldiers can be seen weeping as the imperial standard flutters in the breeze from Trajan's column. I think it's actually been doing that for a while now. Long live the empire. Free prestige. I like that. My best friend is dead. And my son is a witch. That's good. And Provence has actually kind of a strong army. I think because they hired holy orders. And someone said we should found a holy order ourselves. And I think that makes sense. That's something that I want to do. I need prestige though, and I need to be at peace. Because I do need some holy orders. Yes, I do. Where is this? Ah, that's maybe not really what I want to give away, but I might have to. Generally, I don't use the holy orders, but I can. It's something that can be used by my vassals to make things easier for them in comparison. So I guess it's a good thing. What I think might be a good thing is also go and kill those people. At least one of them, make them a bit weaker, you know. Would be beneficial, I think. We are crossing a river. You're not much of a fighter. Priscus, who are you? You're my grandson, you're a bit club-footed, and I don't particularly care about you. So I'm gonna marry you off to someone who's not inbred. Preferably someone that's good. Who's not... I really need to go through the marriages. I haven't married off people in a while. And I always forget to do it. Where is this? Ah, I can actually keep that for now. It's fine. Because we killed that army, that's good. If we went here, they would get there first. That's what I want to do. I don't want to cross a river if I don't have to. And we will not catch you if I try to. Would I be defending? Yes, I would. Yes, I think so. Okay, so you two are married. I don't actually know who you two are. Didn't my best friend already die? Do I have like two best friends? I guess I might have two best friends. I'm a dude. I only have one best friend. I have a lot of good friends, but I only have one best friend. That's like the reason you call them your best friend. You only have one of your best friends. Ah, I forgot about this. Well, that's a waste. I guess what I would like now is some economy, to be fair. Yes, I would. I would like some money. Because I feel like we're not actually earning that much as it is right now. So I'm going to go for monthly income. Try and go for golden obligations. Potentially. And I don't have a perk. I can't use it for anything. And that's a real waste, actually. Oh, I wish that I saw this before. That I had remembered about it. Rather. Oh, you are done with that. You are done with religion. Where can you keep on spreading it? Preferably where we have these old things. And I want you to keep on spreading Romanism. Preferably into Anatolia. Because there's no one in Anatolia that currently is Roman. And that's not particularly good. So I'm going to make an IKEA. Into Roman. You are Greek. You're also the wrong religion. If I bribe you... You need to marry someone, by the way, woman. She don't need to. She already has a son. And it's actually kind of good. To be fair to her. But I think it's very boring to not have any company, you know? At least I think so myself. Being alone, it's not particularly fun. Who would the main culprit be, you think? Might it be this guy? How many are thinking that it might be this guy that killed my son? Any bets? I think I know which one it might be. And so I have to play as my second born son now. Preferably I could keep him alive. And I would like him to get a new baby. He's a bit of a drunk, that's not particularly good. And he has only daughters as it is right now. And both of them are inbred. I could always go for my daughter, you know. I could always go for Spadusa. Oh, none of you have the right name though. That's a disappointment. Really good, all of you. None of you have the right name. That's a bit annoying. Like, do your goddamn job, man. And you, son, do your goddamn job. Have some fun time with that woman and make a baby. How difficult could it be? Like, seriously, if I die, I would prefer to die soon, actually, so I could get some concubines. Because that would make my life a bit easier. Having like 3 concubines, just trying to blast out some children, preferably some good ones. And that would probably try and keep our inheritance safe. I hope. Because as it looks right now, it's not actually particularly safe with the inheritance. Huh. Let's train. Seeing as they talked about the column before. And I'm gonna give this duchy to this guy. So you gain that and you gain the Duchy of Provence. So there you go. Hopefully you're happy about this. I could go on a hunt now, which I probably will do. And I can ransom this dude as well. So always when I've done something about my inheritance, something comes to screw things up. I'm not going to make more babies as long as I don't have to. I do have my 2 daughters. The problem with them is that if I go for my daughter, my firstborn, Spadusa, I would probably have to go for... Yeah, I have to go for one of those guys. Justinian or something. I really wished I could have protected him. Where is this? I don't want to keep this, so you can have it back. There you go. Titles can be created. I'm not going to create any titles. I'm gonna try and... What I would prefer now to be actually... I would prefer to die. I would like to die now so I could actually get some concubines for my firstborn son. Or my secondborn son. My only living son, because 2 of them is dead. One was botched, one was murdered. And I really think that this guy might have something to do with this guy being dead. How many of you are with me? He's obese. He might actually die soon. I need to die. I need to die so I can play as my son. Because if I don't play as my son, we might have some issues. I'm feeling poor. I have no health things when it comes to those. I might actually die soon. Hopefully. I would like to die. I want to get rid of that obesity and I want to blast out some children. Oh, we did get into medieval age, right? Or we will be in 6 months. Ah, that's annoying. We are very close. You can go for Arched Saddle. This will happen in 6 months. Then I will like to go for... I actually do not know what I would like for. Probably this one, Divine Right, is really good. For being able to press several claims in one war. I think that's good. Yeah. That might be the thing that we go for. It might be. We will have to wait and see, I guess. We did get Provence. That looks pretty on the map, by the way. Oh, this actually belongs to me. That's the thing that this person tried to take from me. What happened to France? France is, well, became weak. The Umayyads are actually very strong. I am much stronger than they are, but they're still actually very strong in comparison to most people. You couldn't say the same about the Abbasids, actually. So that's interesting. We have a strong Bavaria. We have a very weak Francia. We have a huge Sweden, which really doesn't make sense. And also a lot of Sami people around. That's interesting. Interesting. A big Nubia. We have those people. That Nubia is actually really big as well, as I said. Yeah, we have some people starting to blob out. It's always happening. Like, people always like to blob out. What I might actually try and do, I might go for a holy war for Croatia in the next episode, because I have one holy war for kingdom, and Croatia is actually a decent kingdom, as we could see. There's a lot of counties in here, so I think that's something we might do, because this is an imperial province that I would like to take back. Bavaria would be a very good kingdom to take, but it's not actually an imperial province, so taking this would not really give me anything. I only need the Duchy of Crane. I don't need all of these other things to restore the imperial borders. Even though I would like to take those things eventually, I don't need to right now. But that's going to be something for the next episode, because I'm going to take a break here, guys. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like it. Smash that like button for restoration of the Roman Empire. I didn't actually expect to restore the Empire in this episode. I didn't really see that in front of me when I started recording, which I really should have. So that came to a surprise to me, to be fair. But hopefully you did enjoy seeing that happen. So make sure to also subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, so you do not miss out on any future episode in this campaign. We're going to go on Conquest Deluxe in these next few episodes, trying to conquer as much as possible while restoring the Empire's borders. We're looking a bit like the Roman Republic, or probably like Justinian's Empire, although we don't have the Middle East, or Spain, or a lot of things. We're getting there. We're getting there. Also, leave a comment down below if there's something you want to talk about. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Take care.